Welcome to The Drop, retro releases. Today, we're diving deep into pixel pack nostalgia with 8 classic games that define generations. From the arcade legend Pac-Man to the monster slaying grind of Monster Hunter Freedom, we're talking history, impact, and whether these retro hits still hold up today. Grab your controller because it's time to drop back into the past. Nintendo World Cup, released for the NES in 1990. Let's talk Nintendo World Cup, a chaotic, hilarious take on soccer that mashed sports with beat-em-up energy. Released by Technos Japan, it gave us over-the-top moves, weather hazards, and a cast that felt pulled from an anime brawl. It was one of the first NES games to support 4 players, making it couch, multiplayer gem in an era dominated by single-player stories. Forget FIFA realism. This was all about goofy fun and wild strategy. Its influence lives on in the spirit of arcade-style sports like my favorite, NBA Jam. Does it hold up? Totally. Especially if you've got friends nearby and want to relive the joy of screaming at your TV during a pixelated bicycle goal kick. Breath of Fire 3 for the PlayStation 1, released in 1997. Capcom's cult classic JRPG that turned heads with its hand-drawn visuals and jazzy atmospheric soundtrack. It was the first in the series to make the jump to 3D backgrounds, giving players a taste of modern RPG evolution while still clinging to the beloved turn-based combat. The story? You're Ryu, a dragon boy on a heartfelt journey of identity, friendship, and fate. This game stood out in a crowded JRPG market by keeping its narrative personal and its characters grounded. While it never hit Final Fantasy levels of popularity, it carved out a loyal fan base. Does it still hold up? For old school RPG lovers, absolutely. It's a charming, thoughtful game, but new players might find its pace a bit slow. Punch-Out! Released for the Nintendo Wii in 2009. Punch-Out on Wii didn't just reboot a beloved classic and one of my favorite NES games, but it reintroduced it with the style, flair, and just the right amount of waggle. Nintendo resurrected Little Mac and his iconic Rogues Gallery with cartoon visuals and motion control finesse that actually worked. It honored the NES and SNES originals while refining the core, timing, and reflex gameplay for a modern audience. Each fighter felt like a puzzle, and beating them was about pattern recognition, not button mashing. It proved Nintendo could still do nostalgia right while embracing motion controls. Does it hold up today? Hell yeah. It's still one of the most satisfying rhythm fighting games out there. Simple, smart, and full of personality. I think it's time to bring Punch-Out back, Nintendo. Pac-Man, released for the arcade in 1980. The yellow circle that launched a million quarters, Pac-Man is gaming royalty. Created by Toru Iwatani and released in arcades in 1980, it broke away from the violence of space shooters and introduced the world to a character-driven game with mass appeal. Its maze chase gameplay was deceptively simple but endlessly addictive, and that waka waka sound became iconic. It changed the arcade scene forever, brought video games into pop culture, and even had a hit TV show. It literally helped define what video games could be. Does it hold up? Visually dated for sure, but it's still crazy fun and tense. If you haven't played it in a while, give it 5 minutes and you'll remember why it took over the world. Unreal, released for PC in 1998. Unreal wasn't just a game, it was a tech showcase. Released by Epic Games in 1998, it was the debut of the now legendary Unreal Engine. Visually, it was jaw-dropping at the time, with dynamic lighting, 3D environments, and that eerie alien atmosphere. More than that, it introduced fluid movement, creative level design, and an immersive sci-fi story that pulled players into its world. It marked the moment PC shooters got serious competition for Quake and Half-Life. Its modding tools also empowered a generation of indie developers. Does it still hold up today? Mostly, yes. The graphics are super dated, but the level design, soundtrack, and vibe still feel inspired. It's a must-play for first-person shooter fans and tech history buffs alike. Monster Hunter Freedom, released for the PSP in 2005. Monster Hunter Freedom was the game that made the PSP feel like a console in your hands. A port of the original PS2 Monster Hunter, this spin-off brought massive beast battles, deep crafting systems, and co-op hunting action to a handheld. It was a slow burn, no lock-on targeting, tons of grinding. But for those who got hooked, it was all-consuming. In Japan, it exploded in popularity and helped sell millions of PSPs, creating a culture of local multiplayer hunting parties. Its influence paved the way for modern Monster Hunter titles, including the global smash Monster Hunter World. Does it still hold up? Mechanically clunky by today's standards, but it's a nostalgic gem for fans, an important step in the series' evolution. Mario vs. Donkey Kong, released for the Game Boy Advance in 2004. Think Lemmings meets Super Mario Bros. That's Mario vs. Donkey Kong, a clever GBA puzzle platformer that reimagined the rivalry between Nintendo's original two icons. Instead of straight platforming, you guide Mario through trap-filled toy factories to rescue mini Marios while solving puzzles along the way. It was a spiritual successor to Donkey Kong 94 on the Game Boy and helped showcase the GBA's puzzle platforming potential. While not a blockbuster, it carved out a niche with its tight design and clever levels. It also laid the groundwork for future Mario vs. DK games focused on the mini Mario pathfinding. Does it still hold up? Absolutely. It's still colorful, smart, and satisfying, with enough challenge to keep puzzle fans grinning. Well, that's a wrap for the week of May 18th on this trip through retro greatness. Whether you're smashing buttons in Punch-Out or chasing ghosts in Pac-Man, these classics still pack a punch. If you love the nostalgia, hit that like button, subscribe for more drops every week, and let us know in the comments which retro game still lives rent-free in your head. Until next time, keep it classic, and this has been The Drop, Retro Releases.